How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Aggies' big win over University of the Southwest. I know this video is going out a little bit late. It's Tuesday, or Wednesday. My bad. I was supposed to upload it on Tuesday, but I just got back and I uploaded a video where I went to an NBA game to watch the Blazers play. So if you guys haven't checked that out, please go watch that. I know it's a little bit different from my regular uploads, but I thought it'd be really cool to upload. And there were some people at the game there asking why I was recording, and so I told them that I have a YouTube channel. And they subscribed, so I was like, might as well post it. So appreciate them. Shout out to them. The Aggie game took place on Saturday, so 4 days later. But it's the start of a new year. So happy New Year, happy holidays to everybody who's celebrating it. I'm planning on getting these videos out the next day from now on this year. Obviously after this one. For example, the Aggies play tomorrow against Sam Houston State in their first conference game. We'll discuss that. Coach Houston's former team, so it's gonna be really interesting. We've seen us struggle against them. I think we're 2-5 against them all time. We've lost the last 3. We just seem to always struggle with them. Without further ado, though, let's get right into this video. So overall, the Aggies just played very well against a team they were supposed to dominate against, and they did just that. I can't remember exactly what the score was to start, but I know at one point it was 12-8. And then the Aggies built up to like a 20, I think it was like 23, 24 point lead at halftime, just like they did against Northern New Mexico. And New Mexico Highlands, they dominated right at the start of the first half. And ended the first half great with over a 20-point lead, and then finished the game with a 33-point win. They beat Highlands by 36, beat Northern by 37. So all 3 teams that we were supposed to dominate against, we did, which is great. I mean, again, it's what we're supposed to do, but it's just good to get that done because, as you guys know, I talked about a lot last year against Northern. We only won by 5, and the only game we really dominated right off the bat was against Southwest. The other 2 games were kind of close for the first 10 minutes, so it was pretty scary. But thankfully, the Aggies got it done. Something I've noticed about these games, I'm sure many fans have noticed it, probably you guys, is that when we play against these non-Division I teams, a lot of guys getting in the scoring book, and there's not one main guy scoring like 20 to 30. Like Christian Cook had 11, Zadi had 10 this last game. Christian only had 13 the game before that. So we combined for 24 points, which he's been putting up in just one game a lot of the times. He had a game where he had 27 against UNM, where he could have 28, could have a career high in Division I if he would have made that last free throw or the one before the last one. It is what it is. Obviously, Zadi, he's had some 20-point games. Jaden played pretty well also. I think he had like 11 points against Northern or 9 or something like that. Where he played well the game before that. I can't remember exactly, but everybody scored last game too, which was nice. As Xavier Johnson got his first points as an Aggie, he scored 5 points, 2 for 2 from the field, made a 3. Christopher Bayuk got a bucket. So he also has, I think they both had 5 points in the season, which is great. These past couple games got in the scoring book. It's funny because Xavier, he used to play in Hobbs for New Mexico Junior College. So I don't know if they ever scrimmaged or play against the University of Southwest. They're obviously, Southwest is NAIA, NMJC's JUCO, but I think NMJC is actually better. And obviously Xavier Johnson had more of a role with them playing junior college basketball, but now he's not playing as much, but maybe, you never know. Obviously, knock on wood, I don't want injuries to happen, but he might always get caught up, or maybe he'll just work his butt off and have a chance to get minutes. That's something Coach Hoon was talking about in some post-game interviews, is that Jacoby Osborne Jr., true freshman for the Aggies, has been fighting for minutes. He had a nice lob from Gabe. He scored in this last game, like I said. Everyone that got in scored. The only guy that didn't get in was Marvin Cox. He's a redshirt freshman, I believe, so he's obviously not going to play at all. But hopefully next year he can get some more run. So yeah, I think it's really nice that the scoring is just divided. They're playing very well together. Had a lot of assists. I knew Shimanga looked really great at the post. Again, playing against a non-Division I team, that's probably why. He had 9.6 rebounds, didn't miss a shot 4 for 4 from the field. So that was just great overall to see him dominate. Like I said, Edward got in the scoring book, so did Amanda's brother Nate. There's a lot of great things the Aggies did, a lot of things they're continuing to get better at. Saying that there was a good trend for about 4-ish games. They were shooting the free throw really well, but the last game just didn't. They shot below 50%, 8 for 17 from the field. If they would have just made one more, would have been right over 50. But it's still, that's not even great if they got that. I wish they would have made like at least 12 or 13 of their free throws, if not more. They've had a lot of games like that, but like I said, recently they've been shooting them a lot better, which I guess was at the right time, right before conference starts. But think about it, we obviously dominated one by 33, but we could have had over a 40-point win if we just made free throws. So got to take care of that a little bit better, but I know they can definitely improve. I know at the beginning of the season I said I think that's going to be a struggle all year long. I think it's still going to be a struggle here and there, but hopefully it just continues to improve, and they've shown that. They shot 32 for 59 from the field and 13 for 28 from 3, so it was really great overall. They've been shooting the ball really great lately. I know they played against 2 non-D1 teams before that. They were playing against some really top dog teams, like Southern Utah is probably going to be one of the best teams in the WAC. I wasn't expecting that. I know during the summer I made a video talking about these games, like those WAC Conference USA Challenges games. I knew Utah Tech wasn't going to be great, but we're on the road, so that was still a good win. But I wasn't expecting Southern Utah to be that good. And then they started the year off 8-3. They lost to a really good Arizona team, obviously, ranked at the beginning of the year. Probably be back ranked soon and be in the March Madness hunt. Southern Utah, low-key, they might too, because they're up there probably with GCU, honestly. I think GCU is the only team that could probably really beat Southern Utah. And then Conference USA, it's honestly wide open. A little bit more competitive than last year, I think, but I think it's still open for anybody. Louisiana Tech is going to look really good. Liberty's looked good, but they haven't played against a whole lot of competition. We've looked pretty solid, 7-6. We've had a pretty tough schedule other than the 3 non-D1 teams we playing against some really top teams like Texas and UNM, even beat UNM, obviously. Texas lost by 24, which, again, might sound like a lot, but for playing against Texas, not horrible. We shot pretty well. I think we shot like 50% for the field. We honestly shot like we have been recently. We've been dominating and winning against teams. It's just Texas in that environment. Texas also didn't have any fans, but it's also Christmas time, so that makes sense. That's also something I want to talk about, too. I know a lot of Aggie fans are complaining because I think right now we're second in Conference USA behind UTEP, actually. UTEP fits a lot more than us, obviously, so we still have the better fans, but we still, like, fit more for our capacity. I think we only fit just under 13,000? UTEP fits a lot more than that. We've had just under 4,000 the past couple games, which honestly isn't that bad considering it's, Christmas time. That's why I just always hate that we have like a lot of home games during Christmas break because I can't go to them. I went to that Southern Utah game, but I haven't been able to go to the past couple. I won't be able to go to the next couple. I'll be able to go to one against Kennesaw State on the 23rd. Be able to go to the rest for the rest of the year because I don't think there's any games during spring break, but even if there was, I'd go to it because I'm just going to stay up there for spring break like I did last year when we beat FIU 77-70. Now that we talked about, the game and, just a lot of things, I want to talk about overall how we did non-conference play, what to look forward to for conference. So as I stated earlier, we finished non-conference 7-6, which was big. I know I've been talking about that a lot. After we finished 5-6 after that win against Southern Utah, I knew we had a high chance to obviously finish 7-6 playing against some, not so great teams. Again, took care of business. Shout out to those guys that we faced. Just glad that we got, business taken care of because I get more nervous for those games than I do for any other one usually just because it's a game that we're supposed to dominate against. And if something doesn't go wrong, we somehow lose, we get memed the heck out of, never hear the end of it. And so I'm just glad we got those wins. Started the year off with a great win against New Mexico Highlands, a dominating performance. If we would have kept the starters in, could have won by 50, but obviously got to get everybody in. A lot of guys that were in there at the end of the game didn't have a whole lot of Division I playing experience, so they kind of let them back in the game a little bit, and people were worried about that, but it's like, dude, these guys getting used to it, just be fine. We won that game by 36, great win. Utah Tech wasn't a great team, but on the road we struggled a lot. We even struggled a little bit on the road against them. We were up by almost 20 at one point, blew it, only up by 1 at one point, still ended up winning by 12. So great win overall. At that point we were 2-0, and we had the same amount of wins as our football team. And the football team was just stressful. We lost the game that night against Western Kentucky. Our quarterback at the time, Santino, threw like 2 picks, so it was stressful. And so it was just great to get that win to relieve some stress and have a winning team at the time. Then they put together an amazing first half against Corpus Christi. That was the point of emphasis. It was like they had great first halves, but not great second halves in each game. And it showed in that Corpus Christi game. They got by 21, had a big lead at halftime by 14, I think, and then they only won by 1 point. And it was like super scary. Like my friends and I were pretty scared, but thankfully we were able to eat some stress. They won. We went to go eat afterwards. Then the Aggies lost 5 straight to mostly pretty good teams. Like their first loss was to Dayton. Dayton's going to be a March Madness team. Probably they're honestly a Sweet 16, Final Four, all that. They're really good. Had a really good first half, only did by 1, but again, the second half lost by 21. Gabe was able to get in there at the end and get some good assists. I can't remember if he scored, but he was able to make the score look a little bit better than what it actually was. And then the second game on the road after that we lost was against UNLV, who we put up a really good fight. We put together 2 really good halves for the first time all season long. Even though it was just 5 games into the season, but it was good to see. They even had a little bit of a lead towards the end, like a couple point lead with a couple minutes left. Just couldn't hold on to it. Ended up losing that game by 5 to 7 points. Then we had 2 disappointing performances against Pepperdine and Bowling Green. Both teams I think were still better than that we should have beat. Should have been 5-2. Should have won that little tournament thingy that was going on, but ended up being last place when I thought we were the best team in it. But it is what it is. You learn, you live and you learn. We lost to ACU, Abilene Christian, who's a really great team in the WAC as well at home. So those were 5 straight losses, but we bounced back with a great win against UNM on the road. Should have won in regulation. I don't think it was, the right call at the time, especially since the guy was out of bounds that shot the ball. The little goal thing they called on Rob. Whatever, we won it. I was just really pissed off because I was like, dude, we finally beat them, and then they call that. But thankfully we got the win in overtime, so we played an amazing overtime. Could easily be gave up, but we played hard. We wanted that win. We got that win. That's when we lost to Texas after that. Obviously, that was a game that was going to be really hard to win. Bounced back with a great win against Southern Utah. Very similar, Southern Utah is a very similar, skilled and well-coached team to Abilene Christian, so it was great to get that bounce-back win. And one of their assistant coaches actually used to play at NMSU. He was from Las Cruces, and he actually followed my Twitter, so shout out to him. Then we obviously got the last 2 wins that I've been talking about in this video. So overall, pretty well, I would say. I think we could easily been like 9-4. Like I said, we should have beat Pepperdine, should be Bowling Green. Had some other, like AC was a winnable game. The officiating was terrible, but we played not so great either. But we're 7-6, have a winning record. I'll take it. Before the season started, again, I predicted us to go 18-13 in the regular season, winning the first game in Conference USA, the tournament, and then losing the next one. So like 19-14 overall. I was thinking we'd probably go about like 8-5-ish non-conference, win 7-6, so just a game less. But again, easily could have been 8-5 or 9-4. There were some games that we won that were super close that we could have lost too, so you got to take that into factor. So overall, can't complain. I would love to start conference off with a win like we did last year, playing against another Texas team at home to start off. This time Sam Houston, not UTEP. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Like I said, we started off conference or non-conference 3-0, finished 7-6. So again, not bad. But with how we started, it looked like we were going to maybe finish with a 10-win non-conference season. Last year started off 5-3 in conference, 3-1 at one point. Won the first game of conference, but then finished 7-9, missing Rob for a lot of that. So even if we start not so great in conference, I wouldn't worry too much. It's about how you end. If we could start great and finish great, that'd be nice, especially with Rob back and our guys fully healthy, I believe. I think we have a great chance at finishing conference with at least, 50% winning percentage, like 9-9, have at least a winning record. But again, I'm going to stick with my 18 wins like I have all year long. That will not change until it's impossible. So I believe we'll get about 11 wins in conference, which I think is doable. I think the most we'd get is like 12 or 13 at most. Do I think that's going to happen? Unfortunately not. But if it does, that'd be amazing. But I think we'll at least get 9 wins. And that'll put us at 9-9 conference, 16-15 overall. Probably sit up at 4 or 5, maybe 6 range in the tournament and have a good chance at winning it possibly. You just never know. As long as you win that tournament, you make it to the NCAA tournament. And that's all you need. Whether you're a 16 seed, 15 seed, whatever it may be, we'll take it. Definitely some expectations for them to do well and be successful, keep on improving. Coach Hooten obviously knows Sam Houston like the back of his mind. He was there for almost 20 years, and then he was there for 13 years as, at the head coach. So he knows the system really well, and, we play kind of similar to they do. So I would expect a pretty close game both times we play against them. The first time we played against them on the road last year was pretty close until the end, and they had us. And then the last game we played against them at home got blown out. So I do not want us to get blown out again. And we've struggled with, like I said, even the team that won the tournament that year against UConn, Sam Houston State, when Coach Hooten was coaching them, beat us by 25 or something like that. So you just never know. We'll just have to wait and see how it all goes. I want to be on the good side of a blowout or the good side of a win. Again, I expect it to be close. If we can start off Conference USA with a win, that'd be huge. And then we play against Louisiana Tech after that, who's going to be a really tough team to beat. But again, we play at home, which is nice. If we can get, I'm trying to think, if we split these first 2 games of conference, I'll still be happy with that. But okay, we'd be, good, because they're both good teams, so at least one of them were good wins. But if we go 2-0, then I will be super hyped and super confident, even if it's just a couple games. If we go 0-2, it'll be frustrating. But again, both these teams are super good. Both have really high chances of finishing number 1 in the conference, in my opinion. And then we play against UTEP after that on the road. Play against FIU, who's not so great. Play against Kennesaw State at home. I'm expecting throughout the, I'm just expecting after the first 5-6 games for at least to have like 3-4 wins. We'll see how it all goes. Super excited. I have the Coach Hooten shirt. We actually got these shirts when they put it against Sam Houston State. So wearing it for good luck. Hopefully the Aggies get the job done tomorrow and throughout the rest of the season and start the 2025, I wouldn't say season because the season's already gone, but 2025 year off right with some wins to finish out 2024 great with 3 straight wins and a winning record in non-conference play, which is great. That's what we want. We want them to have a winning season the whole year, and I think they have a great chance of getting it done. I think they will get it done, and I hope that you guys do think that as well, because it's just great to believe in your team. And I think that's all I have for today's video, and I'm out.